So if the patient sees strong light, they may have some form of headache. If they even have flickering light as well, okay? Flickering light can also be a problem. And then if they are exposed to severe odors, bad smell, or like very strong smell, okay, that can be a problem as well for them. Very, very strong smell. And as well as sounds. Patients who hear a lot of sounds, sounds can be a trigger, sensory stimulus for migraine headaches. And then excessive sun exposure. What about stresses? There are some stressful things which can trigger migraine headaches. Stress, which can trigger migraine headaches. Number one, if the patient has times of intense physical activity, or a patient who has just had a loss, like a death in the family, like separation, maybe the place of work, there's a job change, or the person has just been fired from work and has suddenly started developing headaches, or if there is divorce, okay, or if the patient is moving from, say, Saskatchewan to Vancouver finally, and the person is leaving Saskatchewan for good, moving from one place to the other, or if there's a crisis in the person's life. These are all triggers of migraine headaches. What about changes of environmental habits or environment or the habits, which you must also know for your MCQ1? So if the patient is skipping the meals, if there's been a change in the weather, so like from summer and then all of a sudden we are in winter and it's so cold, that can also be a trigger for migraine headaches. Dehydration, irregular physical activity. Okay, today the person exercises, tomorrow the person does not exercise. Today the person exercises, tomorrow the person does not exercise. Irregularity, crossing time zones, because we are in Canada, and even in Canada there are different time zones here, right? And different seasons, as well as altitude. And if there have been schedule changes, maybe the person was usually working in the mornings, and all of a sudden the person has to work in the night, in the morning, go to the afternoon, shift workers, right? And altitude, if the patient goes to a high place, like on mountainous areas, and sleeping patterns, which are also not regular, as well as patients who are dieting. So that is quickly for migraine headaches. We've learned the features of migraine headaches. We've learned the triggers of migraine headaches. Now let's talk about cluster headaches. Cluster headaches. Doctors, please, before we move on, did the triggers of migraine headache, did it make sense? Did it make sense? Please, if it made sense, just let me know. Did it make sense? If it made sense, just type made sense.